to improve basketball stamina. I'm Tony. Welcome back to Streetball Strategies.
It's about time that I let them know. Push it to the limit and the envelope. Everything high level at the pinnacle. I do it the most, you do the minimal.
Today we're talking about improving your stamina for basketball. And I want to be clear about what this video is. I have a recent video about how to improve your cardio for basketball. That video was about your lungs and your breathing and being able to do that easily and efficiently on the court. Now, while being able to breathe and your ability to have stamina out here can be very closely intertwined, this video is about specifically energy, having energy throughout the day of basketball. Because maybe you're able to get on the basketball court and you put in a lot of hard work and you can breathe just fine, but you still run out of energy more quickly than you would like to. So today we're going to address those energy systems and how to improve them. Now let me be upfront right away and say this is not a problem that I personally had for myself. If I ever had any one physical talent, it would have been the ability to have natural, high, unlimited energy at all times. My energy never dipped, it never got low. I could be out here for 5 hours a day playing basketball or more. I would have the same amount of energy at the beginning of the day as I did at the end of the day. But the reason I'm knowledgeable about this subject is because since it was really the one and only talent that I had, I learned how to optimize it the very best I could. I was very precious, very proud about how I used that one and only talent, and so I studied as much of it as I possibly could to figure out how to maximize it. That being said, let's start with probably the most obvious answer when it comes to stamina, and that is physical conditioning. Is your body actually physically conditioned to not just only generate energy, but to sustain it for a long, high intensity period of time? Because a lot of players love the idea of being a high intensity, high energy player. That's what they want to be, but they don't want to earn the physical conditioning that goes into being that kind of a player. And when we're talking about just raw basketball athletic conditioning for stamina, the only way to get there is to earn your way there through the hard work of practice and workouts and drills and everything that goes into building your body into having that kind of stamina. And doing so can be very difficult. For me, it just happened to be easy, but I understand that I'm on that end of the spectrum. So there has to be another end of the spectrum, right? Where building that kind of stamina must be ultra difficult. That doesn't mean that it can't be done. It just means that unfortunately for people on that end of the spectrum, it's going to be way more difficult. Really, the question is, how bad do you want it? Do you want to go through that hard work, to put in that time and that effort to create and maintain that kind of physical stamina? But let's say you do. You are that kind of a person who you genuinely do want to put in that work. You're genuinely willing to actually put in the time and the effort to create and maintain that kind of physical stamina. And you have been trying, you have been putting in the work, you have been working out relentlessly, you have been trying to push your body to have that kind of physical stamina, and it's just not translating to on the court play. You still find yourself getting tired, more fatigued, sooner, more often than you would prefer when it comes to playing basketball. If that's the case, then I am questioning the way you are doing it, your approach to your workouts. Because my recommendation, my strategy, my understanding of the game is that there is a definite process, a definite hierarchy that you have to go through to get to these kind of endpoints, these goals that you're wanting to achieve. And human nature would be like, okay, I want to have stamina on the basketball court. Let me train for that stamina. Let me push myself so that I can force my body to have more stamina than it's ever had before. And I do that by off the court, like supplementing with workouts and drills and practices, whatever, to push and increase that stamina by pushing myself to my limit. Now, while that makes sense and it's understandable that you would think that way, what you're kind of doing is your mind is skipping to the end result. It's like you're looking at the bigger picture when your body, like your mind's at the end of the road. Your mind's on the bigger picture. When your body needs to go through the smaller picture, your body needs to go through the path that it takes in order to get to that end of the road goal that you're trying to accomplish. What I mean is you determine that you need more stamina. You got too tired on the basketball court too quickly, so you're like, okay, off the court, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z to push my stamina to increase it. And eventually you do want to get to that place where you are pushing yourself and pushing your boundaries. But you need to start slow and easy. The reason is because you need to progressively overload to get where you're trying to go. You just going, like what I'm assuming you're probably doing is exhausting yourself off the court to try to immediately build up that stamina. That logic is understandable, but it can be flawed for many, if not most players. Because your body needs to go through that progressive overload. And not just your body, but your mind and your central nervous system as well. You need to start out slow and easy and build your way towards that stamina. Now, does that sound long and tedious and like it's gonna take forever for you to get there? Yes, but it is the correct way to get there. So let's talk about how you can go through that process and maximize its potential. So the quick and easy, kind of lazy answer to like how do you improve your basketball stamina would be to say, well, take whatever you do on the court, like whatever part of the game that you're trying to build stamina in, practice that off the court, simulate it off the court, run yourself ragged until you finally build up the kind of stamina that you're looking for. Will that work? Sure, it'll work kind of, a little bit here and there, and you'll get some results here and there, but to me, the much better, much faster, much more effective, efficient way to go about building your stamina is to actually start from the very beginning of the process and work your way through by progressively overloading. The reason for this is because you're giving your body the chance, the opportunity to adapt over time. If you go, okay, I want to improve my stamina, I don't have enough out here, I'm getting fatigued too soon, too easily, let me start, running line drills in practice over and over again immediately to try to, supplement off the court to improve my stamina. That will give you some results eventually, meaning because you're pushing you're going from like, okay, I used to never run line drills at all, to now I want more stamina, so I'm going to start running line drills and I'm going to run them as hard as I can. The problem with that is you went from 0 to 100 immediately. You will get results, but not as much, not as fast, not as efficient as you would if you went through a much simpler, straightforward process, which is, okay, you want to run line drills to improve your stamina out here? Okay, but when you first start running those line drills, run them slow. Run them easy, just to start with. That's the beginning, your starting point. You start from there. You have to establish a baseline. You don't have to start pushing yourself, pushing your boundaries, pushing that stamina right away. In fact, you should do the opposite. So for instance, let's say you run line drills for a minute. You run up and down the court for 1 minute and you see how many times you can go up and down the court. Well, when you first start doing it, do it slow, do it easy. Maybe it's, 20. Let's say it's 20 times in a minute. You did 20 times going slow and easy up and down the court in 60 seconds. That's probably a little much. It's probably lower than that, but let's stay at 20. So that 20 times up and down the court, that's fine. Even if it felt slow, even if it felt like there was really no point to doing it because you weren't pushing yourself, that's fine. Now you have to rest for about 48 hours before you do it again. Now the rest is very important because the rest is where the improvement happens. Because you're not just giving your body, but also your central nervous system time to adapt to being pushed a little bit more each time you work out. But your body needs to rest and recover in order to be able to perform better next time. So your rest needs to be at least 48 to 72 hours between workouts. The more intense the workout is, the more you push yourself, the longer you have to rest. Because the problem becomes when you're young and your body is fresh, you feel like, okay, I worked out on Monday, it's Tuesday now and I feel fine. It's been 18, 20 hours since my last workout and I feel fine now. I feel like I could work out hard again right now, but you should not. Because you need to stay on goal, you need to stay on mission. Your target is to teach your body to get better over time. It can't get better if it's constantly working. It needs to get into the cycle of pushing itself a little bit and then resting, recovering, so that next time it can push itself again a little bit harder next time. Because if you immediately start to try to push yourself as hard as you can every day, you're not giving yourself and your body and your central nervous system specifically the ability to sort of recover and grow every time you put yourself through that kind of torturous, hardcore, boundary pushing workout. I know it sounds slower than pushing yourself every day. It sounds like you're maybe, being lazier than the player or the person that's, doing those hardcore pushing themselves workouts every day. But I guarantee you, those players that are pushing themselves every day, especially if they're doing the same kind of thing, like pushing the same kind of muscles and energy systems every single day, they are not going to be making as much progress as you are, as fast as you are, if you actually rest every 48 to 72 hours. Rest, recovery is way more important and valuable than you probably realize. It's that rest and recovery that allows your body to then push harder, faster, better next time. That's how to increase basketball stamina. The cliche is true that the best way to build stamina for your sport is by actually playing that sport. That's the best way to go about doing it. But when we're talking about supplementing off the court to increase your stamina, this way is the best way to go about doing it. Slow and easy by progressively overloading. Don't try to take any shortcuts. Don't try to be clever by okay, instead of starting slow and easy, I'll start at 50%, intensity and I'll go from there. No. If you're gonna put yourself through the process, then put yourself through the process correctly, properly. Start from the beginning. Go slow and easy and progressively overload. The more thoroughly you teach your body and your central nervous system to improve over time, the more results you're gonna see. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, if you think it is going to help you to improve your basketball stamina, then please subscribe to the channel. And let us know down in the comments, what do you do to improve your basketball stamina? What have you done that has worked the best from you? But before you comment, make sure you hit that thanks button down below, because not only will that thanks button make every comment that you make highlighted and stand out from all the other comments, but it also directly supports the channel. So for anybody that does hit that thanks button, know I genuinely appreciate it. As always, like, share, comment, like I said, make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever any video goes live on this channel. And until then, I'll see you guys next week.
I was always taught to make them listen. Be so good they gotta pay attention. Where your name, they never failed to mention. Gotta see it through, believe the vision.